another topic that we're going to discuss here today is the sheriff's remarks there, Arizona sheriff's remarks. Some of his friends and critics are saying that in the wake of this rampage that he's, it's too much political rhetoric already in the air and he's just adding to it. So here's the headline again. Pima County Sheriff Clarence Dutnick addressing, the media. He made headlines basically for saying the vitriolic political rhetoric heard on the radio and TV caused Jared Loughman to go on a bloody killing spree that left 6 people dead and 14 wounded. Another quote from the sheriff, he says, when the rhetoric about hatred, about mistrust of government, about paranoia of how government operates, and to try to inflame the public on a daily basis, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it has an impact on people, especially who are unbalanced personalities. And that is the end of that. So,
I have 2 comments to make about that. One is his job, the sheriff's job, is to investigate, not to pontificate. That's his job. Investigate. That's what he gets paid to do. That's what he does better than we do. We'll pontificate. That said, he's only human. That was an emotional response that he pontificated. He shouldn't have done that. People don't realize when you have television cameras all like here, how many cameras are on us right now? What we say today, it can ripple all throughout the country in the course of 24 hours. People who aren't on camera every day, they don't know that. I don't know how many times the sheriff has been on television or had the national spotlight.
Many times.
National spotlight?
Yes, he's been on Fox News. He's been with Megyn Kelly numerous times.
Then he knows better. Then, in my opinion, investigate, don't pontificate.
There's a responsibility. There's a responsibility there to not do that. People are looking to you. They're looking to you as a leader who is there to protect and to inform, not to pontificate. It was very infuriating, and I think it's rippled through the media. The New York Times, a number of outlets jumped right on board with it, and I think it's one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen.
So you think that those comments and that perspective is totally unfounded?
Well, right now there's no evidence of it. I mean, there's not one piece of anecdotal evidence to link anything that this alleged murderer has done to what the sheriff was saying.
Yeah, not only is there no evidence whatsoever, except that what was started by him out of the gate, but I think like the vast majority, the polls that I'm reading across, the vast majority of the country says like, wait a second, that's a disconnect. These are not real. The guy's crazy. 6 in 10 Americans are saying, yeah, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll move on since you guys are, pretty much on the same page on that one.
Look at that, right?
That's all right.
I don't want to keep coming back here.
I think rational people, though, should be on the same, and I'm calling people irrational who disagree, which in this case, I'll do that. I think that this is just completely absurd.
I agree.
All right, well, we move on to the next topic, which is Obama's crisis. The headline is Obama's crisis response evolves from the Fort Hood massacre to the Tucson rampage. All right, so here are the bullet points. The White House response to the shooting rampage in Arizona reveals how the administration's reaction to crisis has evolved since the similar attack at Fort Hood more than a year ago. President Obama swiftly made a statement to the press on Saturday after the Arizona shooting that left Congresswoman Giffords critically injured. By Sunday, the president had called for a national moment of silence and signed a proclamation that flags will be flown at half-staff, and canceled a trip to New York, and he plans to attend a memorial service, I'm sure you read about, in Arizona tomorrow. President Obama also took the highly unusual step of sending FBI Director Robert Mueller to the scene. This contrasts the timing and extent of how he handled, this is by this reporter here, how he handled both the Fort Hood shooting and the attempted Christmas Day bombing last Christmas 2009, or now 2 Christmases ago. Democratic strategist Maria Cardona says it is obvious that the president and the White House has evolved in handling of tragedies. You say what, Eric?
I say this is the presidential PR learning curve, which I never understand, because the day you set foot in the White House, the presidential PR learning curve should be over. It never is. That is what Obama's going through. Everybody in my industry is critiquing the differences between then, and now, and yeah, he's getting a lot better at it now. It doesn't matter what the crisis is, whether it's political, whether it's him, no matter what the circumstances, you always respond swiftly.
Right.
He was ill-prepared for the presidency from the start, so I'm going to say that first, which is a negative. And I think all those other events, I believe it was Mark Penn who said that he needed another Oklahoma City, which is just a bizarre thing to say, but to really get the sympathy of the American people and to connect with them. Tragically, that's what's happening here. On a positive note, I'll say that for the first time, I really feel like he did handle this well. He was all about togetherness. He didn't give anything like what the sheriff gave, trying to divide people. And so I have to give the president some props for that. I thought that was really good.